good with y'all, boys? Welcome back to another episode of Rank Everything Sports Podcast. Today I'm here to give my 49ers versus Lions prediction. Now, the Niners are currently favored by 7 points. They're going to be playing in San Francisco. The weather looks good. It's going to be about sunny, 50-ish degrees, so shouldn't have any weather problems like the 49ers did last week. Now, first road game for the Lions. They did have a home game against the Rams. Then they had another home game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Lions are going to look to do something that they haven't done in a long time. They already have made history by making the playoffs, winning a playoff game, and now winning another one and making it to the NFC Championship game, which the Cowboys haven't done in 25 years. But that is besides the point. Now, today I'm just going to talk about the Lions side of things, their keys to winning the game, the 49ers things, their keys to winning the game, how I think the game is going to go, and then the final thing I'm going to do is give a score prediction. So, for the Lions, man, their defense is not good. Baker Mayfield lit them up 350 and 3 touchdowns, and Mike Evans had 7 catches or 8 catches and 148 yards and also a touchdown. Now, their secondary especially is just not really good at all. That's by far their weakest part of their team is their defense, man. That's the biggest concern for them is not giving up big plays, not allowing the 49ers to get in the rhythm, and really just praying that their defense can get stops and maybe get some lucky turnovers as well. Jared Goff, though, has been playing very well. 0 turnovers in the playoffs. I mean, he's playing phenomenal football. Arguably better than Brock Purdy. All year he's played better. Or the same as Brock Purdy. So he's a guy that has a great story. He's traded from the Rams. The Rams think go on to win a Super Bowl. Then he beats the Rams this year to advance to the divisional round and beat Tampa Bay. This guy has been looked over. He was the number 1 overall pick. Thought to be a bust. Got traded away. But now he's making history with Dan Campbell, with the Lions team, with all the weapons that they have. And speaking of weapons, man, they have a dynamic player. Jahmyr Gibbs, rookie. St. Brown, established man, their number 1 receiver. Sam Laporta, another rookie. David Montgomery, established guy from the Bears. They acquired him. I think maybe free agent or trade. Jameson Williams. I mean, these guys have got cats left and right. Reynolds. They have great talent on the offensive side of the ball. And this is a team that can be very, very much compared to the San Francisco 49ers team. I mean, this team is playing exceptional football. I mean, they're on a hot streak now. One knock has been for Jared Goff is his ability to play outside of a dome in the inclement weather. And we're still not sure if he's able to do that. We don't know if he can really make the big plays and the big moments outside of the dome that they play in Detroit, of course. But we'll have to see. Now, my keys to victory for this team is going to be, first, disrupt Purdy early. Get him off rhythm early. We saw how that happened and what that forced them to do whenever they played the Green Bay Packers. He was bad for the majority of the game. Pretty much awful. He threw more good balls to the Packers than he did to his own teammates, man. I mean, there was plenty of missed opportunities for that Green Bay Packers team that could have maybe ended the game. I mean, a pick 6 that hit Darnell Savage in the chest. He couldn't have thrown it any better. And he dropped it. And it would have been probably a no-doubt pick 6. I mean, if they get these chances like they did last week against Tampa Bay, Mike Evans has a drop, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson takes advantage of that and gets the pick. If they do the same thing they did last week and take advantage of these opportunities that they do get, there's going to be a good chance that they stay in this game and possibly win. Next thing they have to do, they have to protect Jared Goff. If they don't protect Jared Goff, if they don't give him time to throw, he's going to fold. He's not good. He's not good with the pressure. He's just not. Listen, any quarterback is bad when he's pressured, but Jared Goff is on a whole other level, man. When he gets pressured, I mean, it's really, really, really bad to watch. I mean, he folds. He's a completely different quarterback. And the last thing I would say is to establish the balanced offense. Keep this San Francisco defense on their heels. We saw last week what Green Bay and Aaron Jones was able to do to them on the run game. Aaron Jones, 118 rushing yards. I mean, he was running wild on these guys. And in my opinion, and I don't really think it's a question, the Lions have a better 1-2 punch with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I think this Lions team, if they can establish a run game, disrupt Purdy early, take advantage of those opportunities that he probably will give them, not a lot, but he's going to give them a few opportunities. And if they protect Jared Goff, those are the Lions' keys to victory in the way that they can come out successful. Now, moving on to the San Francisco 49ers. This team, they had a huge comeback win. It's a huge moment for Brock Purdy and their team itself. Even Kyle Shanahan, I mean, going into this game, there was a big stat they played around the third quarter. He was 0-30 when trailing by 5 or more points in the fourth quarter. Listen, him and Brock Purdy himself looked terrible when trailing the whole year. Think about the Browns. Think about the Bengals. I mean, Listen, this guy looked terrible. The Vikings. This guy and Kyle Shanahan even. They didn't look good when trailing, especially Purdy. And Kyle Shanahan never was good trailing, it seemed like. But getting that monkey off their back, coming out and getting that comeback win. Brock Purdy last drive, 6 for 7. I think 48 yards. And a big run to set them up for the field goal. The only drop was to George Kittle. And that was a drop, Listen, I think that these guys, come out and play their brand of football, that they're going to beat the Lions. Listen, they're just better. They're better almost everywhere. Now, listen, a man named Jared Dubbin, whatever his name is, he put out a little positional breakdown. Now, he gave the edge in the defensive line to the Niners. I would agree with that. He gave the edge in the linebackers to the Niners. I would agree with that. Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, very, very good linebackers. The defensive backs, they're both not great, but which are very rewarded some of these other guys, and especially if they had Hufunga, who tore his ACL, they would no doubt be better. But he still gave the edge to the Niners at the defensive back position. Now, for special teams kicker, Badgley got the nod over Moody. He's better. Moody's a rookie. He's not very good. He missed a kick last week when they played the Packers. So I would give the edge to the Lions on that one. Now, for the offensive side of the ball, QB, he gave it to Purdy, but I'm not quite sure if he's the better quarterback. I mean, they have very similar numbers. Jared Goff has less interceptions. He has slightly more yards. So overall, I don't know who I'd take. But I'm not going to freak out with him giving it to Purdy. I think at worst, it's a wash, and I guess you can give it to Purdy. But and then running back, now the Lions have a great 1-2 punch with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, but there's no doubt about it. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league, so you have to give the nod to them. Next up, receiver. Don't think it's that close. Now, the Lions have great weapons, no doubt about that, but they really only have one big-time receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. But the Niners, they have Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and honestly, McCaffrey's like a receiving weapon as well. Tight end, I think it's closer than people think, but he did give it to Kittle as well, even though Sam Laporta has been playing very well this whole season. And then finally, O-line, he gives a slight edge to the Lions. They have Penei Sewell, they have a great center as well. And outside of Trent Williams, the Niners don't have a great overall offensive line. But it's hard to have a bad offensive line when you have Trent Williams at that tackle position. So overall, I do think the Niners are better pretty much everywhere. Listen, they're at home, the better weather, and they're coming off a great win and a great mental moment for the team itself. If they play Niner football, I think they'll win. But 3 keys to victory for them is to get Purdy going early and keep the Lions guessing. Keep them off balance. Give Purdy a lot of handoff to CMC. Establish that run game. Give him easy, quick throws to Deebo. Let him throw it backwards and let Deebo take it 5-6 yards. Give him easy time play action throws. Just get him confident and get him established. And another key, my second key, is to get up early. You have to play from ahead. Playing from ahead is what the Niners do best. When they get a lead, when they keep the defense guessing, that's when Purdy plays the best in the Niners, and that's when Kyle Shanahan is the deepest in his bag of tricks in that system. So, and then the last one is to pressure Goff. You have to pressure Goff. My second big key for the Lions was to protect Goff. If you're the Niners, you have to get after Goff. This is why you pay Chase Young. This is why you have Nick Bosa. This is why you have Armstead or Armstrong, whatever his name is. This is why you have these guys, man. Get after, pressure Jared Goff, man. The Lions have a great offensive line, but you have to pressure Jared Goff. If you don't, he will pick you apart, man. When he can sit back there, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, get the ball out. He's unstoppable, man. We see what he's been doing in the playoffs. The Rams couldn't pressure him. Tampa Bay pressured him a little bit more. They did, but not in the biggest of moments. So you have to pressure Goff. Get him off rhythm. If you pressure Goff, he will do not very smart things. We saw in the Rams game. He threw a backwards lateral over his head that lost 15 yards. Listen, he will give you the ball if you pressure him. He will. So you have to get after Jared Goff, man. Now, the way I think this game will go, I do think the Niners will start fast. I do think Purdy will have an exceptional game against a lackluster, very bad overall defense in the Lions. And I do think that they're going to be able to get after Jared Goff, and he's going to give the ball away. He has 0 turnovers in the playoffs, but they have a great defense. They had a terrible performance last week against Green Bay, so I'm sure Kyle Shanahan has been on their butts about it. So I have my score prediction as the Niners 30, Lions 21. So I would take the points from the Niners -7, playing at home, coming off a great comeback victory against a pretty good Green Bay team. I think that you can play from ahead. You're going to see a significantly worse defense. Even though Green Bay's wasn't good, the Lions' defense is terrible, especially their secondary. So I think CMC's going to get going early, get that monkey off Brock Purdy's back, allow him to have easy looks, easy time throws off the play action, and I expect them to come and roll and just have a dominant performance over a pretty good story, but also a pretty good team in the Lions. So 49ers 30, Lions 21, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe for all the latest sports news. We're in the basketball world, the football world. We cover almost all sports, man. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. And as always, tune in next time. Peace.